Hello and welcome to episode 46 of the Geek Heart Games podcast. I am Sam Suvak alongside Cody Teacher. Cody, how's it going?
Pretty good. How's it going, Sam?
Pretty good. So this episode is coming out on Monday, January 21st. That is Martin Luther King Jr. Day. So we'd like to just take this opportunity to just remind everyone to be compassionate to their fellow humans. Civil rights has come a long way over the years, but it's still not perfect. We still have lots of room to improve. So just, think about people and be kind as often as you can. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Cody, it's been a long week. How are you feeling?
It has been. It's been a rough couple weeks for me, Sam.
Yeah.
We're going to get real deep here all of a sudden. So as I mentioned previously, I'm supposed to be having a back surgery eventually. Hopefully.
Hopefully soon.
Fun fact, insurance in America sucks.
It's true.
And is such a terrible process. So I've had a lot of issues this week with health insurance, and it's been real annoying. So yeah. How about you, Sam? Has your week been a little bit better at least?
Oh, hopefully? It's definitely been better than that. Okay. We'll talk about this later some point. I want to have a focus about anxiety and dealing with anxiety and how video games can help. Because I've had a lot of it this week, and it's just been weird. I don't know. I don't know. But most of it's just been at work, and not even for work-related things. My desk moved, and now I'm in a location where people walk by a lot more, and when they do, the floor shakes. Because, we're on the second floor. You wouldn't think it would shake that much, but, it's constantly, there's these tiny earthquakes happening near me, and I get enraged by it, which is, something probably unique to me. Most people probably don't even notice the floor shaking, but I'm just so sensitive to it. So I get really mad about that. And then I get my heart gets racing, and then my anxiety builds, and I'm just oh my God.
And then you start stabbing people, and Sam, we gotta talk, there's a bounty out for you, and it's rough.
So if there's ever not a podcast because I'm not here, you'll know it's probably because I went crazy at work and stabbed somebody with a letter opener. Hopefully not, though. Hopefully not. I try to do my deep breathing. Honestly, what helps me a lot. Well, I've got a convertible desk where I can raise it to stand up. And so I try to stand up a lot, and when I'm standing, I don't feel it shaking as much. And then also, as a reward for myself for standing up, I let myself listen to the Tetris Effect soundtrack, and it's really soothing. So twice a day, once in the morning, once in the afternoon, I listen to my Tetris Effect soundtrack, and I'm standing up, and I'm just all right, it's okay. So, whatever works for you, just try things and, try to be happy. So...
We went two different ways with the standing desk thing. I was like, oh, standing desk was really nice. And you were like, oh, yeah, because I get to reward myself with Tetris Effect soundtrack. And I was like, yeah, it's really nice. If that fucking person keeps walking up behind you and making the ground shake, you just get to turn around and punch them faster. And it's where we differ, apparently. I had a different mindset going in.
Okay, what you should think about also is I'm a very small person. I'm barely 5 feet tall. So I don't go picking fights with people because, I'm going to get my ass kicked.
I mean, height doesn't mean anything. You could be very agile. You could be a little squirrely.
I'm gonna kick somebody in the shins is what I'm gonna do.
Hey, that fucking hurts, man. You're gonna drop somebody. You kick him in the shins hard enough. Shit. I don't want to be kicked in the shins ever. One time in middle school, there was this kid. That's what he did for fun. He would walk around and kick people in the shins, and it was you're a piece of shit. You know that? And then one day he kicked this one kid in the shins, and they were in the bathroom. Which, first off, if you're to kick someone in the shin, why in the bathroom of all places? So that day, that guy, the shin kicker, as we called him, got a swirly, and it was hilarious.
Oh, okay, I could see that. I was thinking it's a bad idea to kick somebody in the shins in the bathroom, because they're just going to, I'm thinking someone's out of urinal peeing, and
reasonable
stuff's going to start going places, because they're jumping around oh, my leg. And then guy's gonna get covered in
Smart.
pee, which, I mean, that would have been a valid defense mechanism as well.
It would have. It would have. It would have. No, he got a swirly, and it was pretty funny because he walked into class like an hour later with his head like sopping wet, and we were just like, "What happened?" And then we found out the story like a week later. So don't kick people in the shins is the moral lesson.
Just be
If
nice.
Geek Card Games has taught you nothing, it's be nice and compassionate, and don't kick people in the shins like a piece of shit. So I think this is a video game podcast.
I think it is. I think we went crazy there. I don't know what happened. Let's talk about some video games. So, I mean, the one I'm most excited about is one that I didn't play, but you played, and you're not going to spoil it for me because I said I'd take off my headphones if you wanted to go crazy, but you don't want to. So, tell me all about the Resident Evil 2 demo.
Yeah, so Resident Evil 2 Remake is launching January 25th, so this Friday after podcast releases. And so to like kind of hype it up, they have... Sam is taking off her headphones.
There was a weird
happening?
noise. Like, speaking of spooky things happening, I'm sure it's Aloy scratching on something, but I was like, what is that noise? Also, it's raining. I don't know. Go ahead. Sorry.
Ooh, really spooky.
Yeah.
So to kind of hype up the release of Resident Evil 2, they released this thing called a one-shot demo where you have 30 minutes to play, and if you can't beat the level... What's up?
I was confused. I heard it was a one-shot demo. I thought it meant you just had one bullet and you had to be real careful.
No. Nothing that serious, so good lord.
I'm just kidding.
That would have sucked. I would have been so... Because the shooting in Resident Evil is already not very fun to me sometimes.
You gotta use your knife, man.
Yeah. Yeah, this is one of those... We'll get to talk about that in a second. So you have 30 minutes to play through this one level. Kind of the basics. You're Leon Kennedy. You're going to Raccoon City, I'm pretty sure this is where it takes place.
Good job.
And this level takes place, you're exploring a police department. That's all I'll say, story-wise. Man, is this fucking spooky. Like, a million times more spooky than Resident Evil 7.
Really?
Like, yeah, like, if we have a YouTube video out, I played through it, beat it in 23 minutes. Go me.
Good job.
I skipped a lot of stuff. There's definitely some stuff I could have done differently. So, like... The sound design is so well done that like there are so many like little tiny things that happen, like something falling over, and like just it happens at the perfect moment to just get you on edge. So if you do watch that YouTube video, I was talking to Sam about this, like it sounds like I am like out of breath or like I have a breathing problem. No, like my heart was racing, causing me to breathe really heavy. So like I'm pretty sure my breathing got picked up on my microphone.
Quick question. So you had to play with your headphones because you were recording it, obviously.
Yeah.
If you were not, would you have played with headphones, or even like, this is too scary, I'm taking them off?
I feel like this is one of those games you have to play with headphones on. Like, it's one of those games like the sound is so important, because if you don't play with headphones on, like you're missing like audio cues for like zombies, for like there's other stuff happening in the game that requires you to have the audio on. There's a lot of stuff.
Question. Did you also play it in the dark?
No, I did have my light on.
Wow.
I'm sorry. I failed you on that note.
It's okay. Good.
So yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's graphically also very beautiful. Like it's definitely something I want to pick up eventually. I don't think I'm going to pick it up day one because Leon Kennedy moves very slowly, and I just finished like Resident Evil 7 like a month ago.
Yeah.
And so I think I kind of want to break from those kind of games.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to wait a little bit. I will say I had a ton of fun with it. I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be probably like one of the top games of the year. And I'm excited to hear what you have to say about it because I know you love the Resident Evil series. A lot of cool stuff. It's just so spooky. Like, I was like, okay, nope, I'm not enjoying this at some point because I was just like so on edge. I do feel like the combat in Resident Evil 7, how do I put this? Like in Resident Evil 7, I feel like I didn't miss my shots very often because like I could still move and shoot. In this one, if you are choosing to move around while you shoot, they do penalize you for that. Like the reticle blooms out and stuff. So you do kind of you are rewarded for like kind of stopping and like being precise. So that's interesting.
Well,
when I said earlier,
I was just saying back in the old Resident Evil games, I mean, you couldn't move while you were aiming, so it's just like,
oh, good point.
You know, like Resident Evil 4, you couldn't do that. So,
with Resident Evil 7, like there were moments that scared me in that game, but like, I don't know, like the kind of more like creepy, like not swamp monsters, but like the kind of like zombie character in Resident Evil 7 like didn't scare me. The like gore and like disgustingness of the zombies in this game do terrify me. Like they are like, there is a scene in the demo that is like, you're like, oh god. Like there's some cool stuff in this game. And like, I don't know, like and I think it's just the setting, because like in the house, I knew like, okay, there's this character, and then like there's gonna be some zombies. In this police department, I didn't know what was gonna be around the corner. I didn't know like what was gonna happen. So like it was very interesting. It still has the traditional like puzzles where like you get one thing and it leads to another thing, and like you gotta get a couple of these things to fill in a pattern, and kind of just like the standard at this point what I recognize as a Resident Evil puzzle. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I'm excited for you to play it, and I can't wait to hear what you think. And definitely go give that one-shot demo a try if you're on the edge about it. I think it will sell you on it.
Did the demo have options for difficulty?
No, it has like play the game, buy it from the PlayStation Store.
Okay.
But yeah, I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun, really spooky, and I'm excited to play it eventually.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm obviously super excited about it. I pre-ordered it a little bit ago, and it came with a theme for my PS4, and it's a really good one. So it's got this kind of like gross zombie face, and then like if you go to the upper section, it's got Leon and Claire, and I just think it's cool. It has its creepy sounds too that I like. I think I told you that I wanted to take off on Friday when it came out, but then I wasn't going to be able to because of work stuff, but I got stuff rearranged, and I'm like, no, I'm taking off on Friday. So Thursday night at 11 p.m. I'm gonna start playing this bad boy, and I am super excited about it. I don't know.
It's definitely like a game I'm gonna go back to, like maybe during the summer when I have like a period where I'm not playing any games. But yeah,
you heard it here first, guys. Cody was so scared by the demo that it's gonna take him a few months before he can actually go back and play the game.
There's a moment in the demo on the video, which you can find at geekcardgames.com/YouTube, where like something happens. I don't remember what. But it legitimately like made me throw the controller, and like I had to catch it with like the palm of my hand just so it wouldn't rip my microphone out. I was like, oh god. And like it's really spooky. I don't know. It's just the setting is a lot scarier for me than Resident Evil 7 was. So yeah,
that's awesome. I wish you'd had a webcam recording you, because I would have liked to see you jumping and throwing controllers.
Yeah. Okay, so that's Resident Evil 2 that comes out this Friday. So
yay!
Get pumped.
All right. So since I was not playing the Resident Evil 2 demo, weird thing happened this week because I did some stuff that's totally unlike me. I finished some games, which, if you know me, I like to start games and play for a few hours and then I'm good. I'm like, no, I'm done, thanks. So in a weird occurrence, I finished 3 games this week. Now, one of those was Valiant Hearts, which I talked about a few weeks ago. So obviously I'd started that a while back, but I just went through it and finally finished that up. And guys, it's a really good game. Like I talked about it before, you know, made me cry. There's a really good representation of the horrors, the travesties of war, just the bad stuff that happens between people. And like I said, like I never like had anything wrong with it. I just wasn't like in the mood to play it. But once I got back into it, I was like, you know, I like this. I like these type of puzzles. They're like easy enough for me to figure out. And it's just so emotional and historical. And it's just like, yeah, it's a really, really good game. So I highly recommend that one. Second game was Amplitude. So this was one of the free PS Plus games this month. It's a rhythm game, and like I was kind of like, I guess I kind of still am. I'm kind of in this spot where I'm like, I don't know how I feel about rhythm games. I'm like, do I like them? Do I not like them? I know that I really like Guitar Hero, but I mean that one's fun because you get like a little guitar or you've got drums, and so like you're doing stuff, and it's just like it's. What? Don't make that face. What was that face?
It's all about the guitar. The drums are so terrible in Rock Band and Guitar Hero.
I had fun.
I hate the drums.
I had fun with the drums in Guitar Hero. I still have my drums from Guitar Hero. It's a good game. What was the other one that I was thinking that was a rhythm game? Oh, my fitness boxing. I'm having a good time with my fitness boxing, and that's a rhythm game, technically, because you're trying to punch in time. So I was like, you know, I think maybe I like rhythm games. I'm going to give it a shot. Turns out Amplitude is not the game for me. It's a pretty interesting concept as far as I can understand. I'm not entirely sure that I understood exactly what was going on, but from what I can figure out, you're this little ship that's like floating through the timeline that's, you know, you got to push the buttons, and there's different tracks for different musical instruments. But really, I feel like you're like a little like nanobot, and you're doing brain surgery while this is happening, because like there's something going on with this woman's brain. I think her name's Sarah. I think she's in a coma, and like you're trying to fix whatever's wrong with her brain to try to like get her to wake back up. So it's an interesting concept, and I'm like, yeah, that's cool that we're doing brain surgery over here. It's great. I played on easy, and there were just 3 buttons to use: L1, R1, and R2. And you'd think it would be okay. There's only 3 buttons. It's not that bad. But then also you would have to use the D-pad left and right to jump from track to track. So like say you'd start off in the drum track and you'd finish a sequence, and then you would need to immediately switch to another track to do the next sequence, because like you weren't supposed to just like stay on one track and do all the sequences. You were supposed to like jump around. But like sometimes it was really hard to like get jumped over to the next track, and then like if the note was starting like right there at the beginning, like it was hard to get it in time, and so then like you would lose your combos. It had some neat stuff, like once you get your combos up, like you can get different things, like you can get something that'll just clear a sequence for you, you can get something that'll slow down time, you get this weird thing called flow, I think, where the ship just kind of jumps up off the track and it's just kind of floating in air and you're getting some points. I don't understand what that's happening.
Do you do this maneuver?
Well, it's like go do left and right. So I was like going left and right with the ship. I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing, but like I would do it, and then like my points would go up. So I was like, I guess that's what you're supposed to do. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, it's an interesting concept. He's still doing the movement. Okay. We're just gonna do that for the whole. That's our cardio for the night. We're just gonna keep moving our arms.
I mean,
hey, whatever works. Yeah, so it seems like fine, but it's just like I don't think I ever got into the groove, as you might say, for a rhythm game. And like I saw later, like you could change the buttons, so you could do like square, triangle, circle, but I don't know if that would have been easier. The music was fun. It's kind of electronic, and like it was neat because it would have these lyrics and like stuff would have to do with brain surgery and stuff. So it was neat what they were doing with some of the songs. And I mean, it's a fairly easy campaign to play through, which is why I finished it. Because I was like, this won't take me long. I'm just going to finish it just to finish it. But I didn't have a great time with it. So I think I still don't have a conclusive answer as to whether I like rhythm games or not. So like I need to find like another rhythm game and try it and then see how I feel about it. So I don't know. But hey, okay. It was free. So what are you going to do?
Were you playing it on PS3 or PS4?
PS4. Fun fact about Amplitude as the PS Plus game this month. So it lists it as a PS3 game, but it is on PS4. So if you go to the PlayStation Store on your computer and look at all the free games, it lists like all the different consoles. They're all there, and you can grab it there. If you're on your PS4 and you go to the store and say, show me the free games for PS4 this month, it doesn't show it. It only shows you Steep and Portal Knights, which I was like, that's weird. But it's for both PS3 and PS4, so you can get it on whichever one you want. And if you have an interest in it, give it a go. It just didn't click for me. I mean, it's a neat concept, fun music, but yeah. Hey, at least it was free. So
yeah, at least it was free.
At least it's free. All right. I'll come back to my final one, but Cody, do you want to tell me about Elder Scrolls Online? Because you are still journeying and fighting for your MMO that's going to fill your heart.
I feel like we had a really good segue to talk about Portal Knights because we just brought it up, but we can talk about ESO if you'd like.
We'll come back to Portal Knights because like we both have stuff to talk about with Portal Knights. Okay.
So yeah, I'm still on this journey to find an MMORPG that I can love. And do I need to do the song again?
What was the song? Oh, no.
Learn. Okay.
Do the song, but we don't have anything to learn. You said it last week. Learning
with Geek card games.
It's catchy. I don't know.
It is. Oh, it is. So yeah, this past week, I want to say, Elder Scrolls Online did a stream where they were teasing something big was going to happen this year for the game.
Was it big like a dragon?
Yes, actually.
Oh, really?
It's, some would say, the year of the dragon. Whoa.
Quick interjection. Is it actually like the Chinese year of the dragon? Because that would be really cool if it was coincidental.
It's the year of the cow.
Well, then they missed their mark. So continue.
Yeah. I think Overwatch's year of the cow is starting.
That's not as cool.
Yeah. So they did this like big long stream that was supposed to lead to something, and then it was just a symbol, and it was like, check out the real stream like a week later. So then they did the real stream of their next big update is called Elsewhere, which is like the home of the Khajiit, which are the cat people.
Oh, I like the cat people.
And they announced, I believe it's the 5th anniversary of Elder Scrolls Online, like officially launching. So they announced that this will be the year of the dragon. It'll see 3 DLCs and then 1 big story expansion in Elsewhere. And so the kind of story going on is going to be that you fuck up and unleash dragons upon Tamriel, and like they're like legitimately like in the DLC story coming out in like a week, in like a month or two, you go and unlock this gate, and all these dragons fly out. And it's on you, and you gotta go fix it. And I'm like, okay, I like that storyline.
That sounds like something like one of us would do if we were actually put in an adventure scenario. Oops, I fucked up. Well,
and then they also like announced with this like in Elsewhere, like you'll be fighting dragons and stuff, and like this is the first time dragons will show up in Elder Scrolls Online, because like in this realm they're dead because like they've been dead, quote unquote. But actually they've been locked away. But this takes place differently from like Skyrim and all that.
Okay, because there have been dragons separated over in that part, just not the online part. Okay.
Yeah. And so like one of the big things that kind of got me excited for this update is they announced that they're going to add the Necromancer as a class. And like, you know me, I love dead things. Like Jason Voorhees comes back to life. Love it. Love it. And so I was like, cool. And then they announced like something even cooler. So in Tamriel, the world that the Elder Scrolls Online is taking place in, necromancy is illegal everywhere. So they're like, and so like you normally most games just like give it a pass and like, oh, necromancy's fine now. No, like if you practice necromancy in the major cities, someone will tell on you and the guards will come fine you for practicing necromancy. And I was like, that is so fucking immersive. I'm in. I love that. So I hopped back in Elder Scrolls Online because I have not touched that game since I dropped $40 on it. And I was like, my big issue is like I haven't found a class that I like. Like I tried them all and I couldn't really like find one I really enjoyed.
Because you were waiting for the necromancer.
Apparently, it's just what I needed. And so eventually I was just like, well, I'm just going to give this, it's called the Nightblade. It's kind of like their rogue / assassin / archer class. And I've been playing that and I'm about level 8. I put about 2 hours in. And I really am enjoying it. They really give you a lot of bonuses, I guess, right now. Because like they're kind of trying to get people like sped up and like ready for the new content coming out. And so like they gave me some bow. And it's like, oh, you get bonus 5% XP every time you kill something with this bow. And I was like, well, fuck yeah. I'm just going to be a fucking, like a ranger, pretty much. And like, so I've been like looking up some guides and stuff. And so something I didn't realize is that like, there are 3 skill trees for every class. And each of those skill trees is meant to kind of focus on one of like the Holy Trinity, which is like tanking, damage dealing, healing. Never realized that. So it's like, oh, it's meant to be like, every class can be a tank, a DPS, or a healer, but it's really up to you what you want to do. And I was like, oh, so I've just been spending points and stupid stuff I shouldn't be doing, apparently. And so I've been really digging this Nightblade character. I'm a Khajiit named Grimvel, which, Sam, you may know that name, because that's the family name of our orcs in D&D. So I'm a Khajiit Nightblade named Grimvel. I got my like flaming panther because that's what they gave me when I bought Somerset, the last expansion.
That's your mount?
Yeah, it's my mount.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is it weird for a Khajiit to have like a service animal?
I thought about that. I was like what? Like, how do I feel about that? And then like there's like a reptile race called the Argonians. Yeah. And I'm like, how do you think they feel about fighting dragons soon? They're probably gonna be really upset about that.
Yeah.
And so I'm playing Sam, and like I'm listening to music while I play because I'm like, I don't like the storylines are interesting, but I can just read all the dialogue, right? Yeah. And then I'm hearing something over my music. I'm like, what is that noise? And like I'm just doing like random side quests. I'm like, what's that noise? And so I take my headphones off and I like crank up the TV a little bit. It's all voice acted. Like everything I've done has been voice acted. Like side quests. Like just like go fetch me some hay was one of the side quests I did. And this dude is like talking to me and I was like, what's happening? Like what? It was like really cool. And I was like, well, let me put my headset in and like, listen to the people talk.
Have they not done that in the game before on the online one?
Oh, I'm sure they have. I've just been a fucking idiot and been listening to music the whole time. And so now I'm finally getting to recognize it. And like, it's just really cool. And like, I was like, man, this is like really adds in like a new element to like, cause like in World of Warcraft, like, not everything's voice acted. Like only major storylines are voice acted. So like I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. And I don't know, like all this just the whole like stuff about like the Year of the Dragon thing kind of excites me because like it's like, oh, like they have an entire year of content planned out. And like I'm not gonna lie to you, like fucking necromancy is like really cool to me. Like in video games, all right, I'm not trying to raise the dead here in real life. Like I don't know, like it's just really cool. Yeah. Like for the like tanking spec of the necromancer, you get to turn into a giant like skull golem, they said, and that just sounds fucking badass. Like tell me you don't want to turn into a
you turn into it instead of just summoning it. That's crazy.
You turn into it. Yeah.
How does it do battle? Does it just like hop on people? Like if it's just a skull?
I think you like it's like I haven't gotten to, I think it's like level like 15 or something, you get an ultimate. So like the ultimate for the tanking spec is to turn into the golem, and then like I'm sure your hotbar turns into like abilities that it has and stuff. So
that's what she said.
I'm excited. What part?
Your hotbar turns into abilities. It was a stretch. I'm sorry.
I mean, like if you're like really into RPG foreplay, I guess.
I'd say a lot of people are.
Show me your hot bar. Cast scorch on my titties, stuff like that.
I regret now that I started
I took it too far. I took it too far again. I'm sorry. Anyways, Elder Scrolls Online. Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with it. I will say, dumb story. I was running it through like a kind of like a mini like dungeon almost, and like I'm fighting this stuff, and like I'm doing pretty good. And it's been a while, so I don't remember everything I have. Mm-hmm. And so I'm running, and I see something's running behind me, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? And like it's moving fast, and I'm like, oh fuck, what's about to happen? And so I stop, and it stops with me, and I'm like, what's happening? Like, is it about to attack me? And so I'm trying to target it. I'm like, why is it not letting me target it? I had a fucking pet scorpion, apparently, that they gave me. And I thought it was trying to attack me, and it was not, apparently. I'm an idiot. So yeah. But I'm having a lot of fun with it. I will say, like, right now they only let you buy the Year of the Dragon thing as a big expansion pack, and it's like $80. And like, I just want to buy Elsewhere and get the Necromancer. It's earlier on one. I don't want to pay for the other DLCs because like they kind of ruined the whole like, oh, it's my fault the dragons are revealed, so I don't really need to play that technically. I don't think. So
I mean, don't you want to go fight dragons and shit?
No, yeah, I will in Elsewhere. Like they're just saying like that DLC tells the story of how you release the dragons, and then you gotta wait for Elsewhere. I'd just rather wait for Elsewhere.
Okay, Cody.
Hey, I'm only level like 8. I got to get to level 30 still. So I mean, I got time. I was gonna be a necromancer, damn it.
It's fine.
I will say I do want to finish leveling up this Nightblade before Elsewhere comes out, because every time a new expansion drops, the starting zones change. And so like the Necromancer, when I start my Necromancer class, it'll have a different starting zone than my Nightblade, and I do like want to experience that. That seems pretty cool. So yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with that. Maybe I finally found an MMO to hold me over for a little while. We'll find out.
Hopefully. However, I did want to ask you one thing. Have you heard of a game called Boundless?
No, I haven't. What is this?
Okay, so I got an email from Square Enix about this game today. So I guess it was on Steam Early Access for like 5 years? Long time. I don't know. Uh-huh. It's a
very long time.
MMO. Yeah, and so it's out on PS4 and PC right now. I think it came out a few months ago. Basically, in this MMO, from what I read about it, it's kind of like Fallout 76 where there are no NPCs. There's just other players. And so any interactions you have are with other players. Like there's no store to go like sell your little crap to get upgrades or whatever. Like you have to like work with whoever's playing to do exchanges and do stuff like that. I didn't go too far into it. It's $40 on PS4.
Okay, that was my next question. Yeah. Is it free to play or is it money? Okay.
But it's like,
maybe I'll look at it.
It sounded very interesting, but not necessarily in like that's really cool, interesting way. It's like, that's interesting. I don't know about that way. So like, kind of have to like, I didn't even watch the trailer for it. So, but you should look into that and see what it's like, if that would be something that's cool or not. Kind of weird that never heard of it, but I don't know.
I probably have. I just can't like off the top of my head.
Okay.
Because I do a lot of research on MMOs because that's what I do in my free time because I'm a fucking nerd. But yeah.
All right. So now for my final game that I finished this week, which this one was a surprise for me. So Ori and the Blind Forest. Like, what's your question?
So you're saying it was a surprise that you finished?
Yes.
Was it like a premature finish? Like you just weren't like expecting it to finish?
Is that what she said?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's what she...
I thought that's where you were going. Are you like actually asking me this?
Yeah, I'm like really trying to make a sexual innuendo out of this. All right.
No, I don't.
Ori and the Blind Forest?
Ori and the Blind Forest. So I've seen this game before, and I thought it looked really cool. I never wanted to buy it because I was like, it's probably not a game for me. There's a lot of platforming, kind of a Metroidvania style game, which is not my favorite. And then like I've heard stories about how hard it is, and like Christine Steimer from What's Good Games has talked multiple times about how she got so angry and like she'd throw her controller about this game. And so I was like, I don't like hard games, so this is probably not gonna be for me. And like just last week, I think I said that like the new like Super Mario Brothers is like the only 2D platformer that I actually like. So big surprise, I started playing Ori and the Blind Forest, and I absolutely loved this game. I feel like this is the best 2D platformer of all time, and I also feel like it's the best Metroidvania of all time.
Oh, damn.
This is one of the best made games, period, in my opinion. So for multiple reasons, okay, it has an incredible story, and like, man, I cried a lot during this game at like various points. It wasn't just like at one point. There were lots of things that happened. So the main story, and here's the thing, like, I don't even fully understand this story because it was just like, I don't know, whatever, but I got enough of it and I got the emotions of it. So there's this spirit tree in the forest that has light, and light is like the life energy of everything there, and it's like keeping the forest a-okay, right? There's this mean owl named Kuro who's huge, and like she hates the light, and she ends up like attacking the tree and like kind of destroying stuff. And I think the tree like shoots out part of its light, and like that becomes Ori. Somehow Ori is the child of the tree. I don't know, but Ori got lost from the tree, and this this other type of creature named Naru adopted Ori, and so you see like a bit like snippets of their life together, and it's so sweet. And then like a true Disney movie, of course, there's not enough food, the forest is dying, and Naru doesn't make it. And I'm just like, oh my god, this is like at the very beginning, and that's why Ori starts out.
Time out. What fucking Disney movies are you watching where someone dies because there's not enough food?
Well, okay, it doesn't matter about the food. Just like a parent figure dies often in Disney movies. Like somebody's always gonna die. Like those Disney movies, like they
but not of starvation. I don't think anyone dies of starvation.
That's starvation isn't the point. It's just the death that was the point. Okay.
Shit way to go. All right, continue. Sorry.
All right. So Ori's on this quest to go bring light back to the tree, and there's this little light spirit that's with her. This little like, actually, I don't know if Ori's a boy or a girl. But there's a light thing like that's kind of like your Navi from like Zelda. And so it'll talk to you sometimes, and it does your combat abilities, and it's just like your thing that's with you. So you guys go through, and there's like 3 sections of the forest where you have to go kind of clear and like reset them and get them back to their healthiness. And then you're going to the tree to like finally turn the light back on or fix it, whatever. But like, oh my god. So you meet somebody called Gumo along the way, and Gumo's like a bad guy. He's stolen this thing. But then something happens, like, I don't even remember. Like, I think he gets trapped and you help him. And then like the fact that you showed him kindness, like changes his heart, and then he helps you. And then like throughout the game, like he'll pop up again to help you. And it's so sweet. And then like, you find out why Kuro the owl hates the light, and it's like a really good reason, and you're like, oh my goodness, so like how can we resolve this situation and everybody live happily ever after, it's like and then you get to the end, and just like the way that the situation resolves itself, and like the tree does end up getting its light back, there's like a happily ever after ending. but like there's parts right before that that are really emotional, and like Ori is not doing so well, and like I know that Ori's gonna be fine because Ori's got a sequel coming out soon, but I'm like, oh my god, what's happening to Ori? But it was just like I'm trying to be vague, because like I don't want to like give it away, but like it's really good stuff and like a well-written story. And then there's this part at the very end that like makes me anxious, because I'm like, this isn't fully resolved. I don't understand how this is going to be okay, and like I don't know if that's what the sequel is going to deal with. But it's just like, it's an A+ story, very well done, and like the way it kind of plays out is like the spirit tree's voice is kind of like narrating parts of the story, and so it's like got this real spiritual feel to it. So that's A+. The gameplay is really good. Okay, now I will say there were parts where I got extremely angry, and there were 2 nights where I did just have to stop. I'm like, okay, I can't handle this right now. I need to go away for a while. Came back the next day and like made it through, so it's fine. But I really appreciate good movement in a game. Like, I don't want a character that walks really slow. Like you were just saying, Leon Kennedy walks really slow. But I mean, I'm okay with that in Resident Evil, it's fine. But in a game like this, like Ori like just bounds around with he's like, he or she is full of energy and does lots of jumping, and pretty early I unlocked like a double jump. And so like you're just zipping around really fast. You get a wall climb, which so you can kind of point at the wall and like do your jump over and over, and you just climb straight up the wall. Like a normal wall jump, you have to do like back and forth. You don't even have to do that. You can go straight up, jumping up the same wall. That was cool, but like I did get frustrated because like you constantly have to keep pushing that button. Later you get an ability where you just straight climb the wall and you just hold down a button. You don't have to like keep pushing it. So I really feel like they should have just done that from the get-go. That's like my like I have like maybe 2 complaints about the game. That's like my one complaint, is that they did that. You end up getting this thing, I don't remember what it's called, like I'm gonna call it like a boost. And so you get next to an enemy or a projectile and you hold down Y, and like this little arrow will come up and you point which direction you want to go, and then when you let go it just like boosts you in that direction, and due to proper physics it pushes whatever you're pushing against in the opposite direction. And so you can use this to navigate around, and so you'll be jumping and doing boosts on different things, and so it might be quite a while before you even like touch the ground, because you're just kind of like zipping through the sky. That's really cool. This ability also, in like some of your puzzles, you'll have to either use this to shoot enemies into a certain thing, or to like there'll be like physical objects, like there are these boulders that sometimes you have to shoot, and so it's just like interesting to like be able to use it in different ways. Also, like theoretically it's a combat mechanism. I like always forgot to use it as combat. Like I always like Cody, I didn't play this game the right way, because like my combat was never up to par on this. I would always forget the different ways that I could fight. I would always just use my basic attack and I would get my ass kicked, which is probably why I had problems in certain areas. But yeah, so you get that. There's a part where you get to swim in different things. There's a thing where you get this, it's a feather, and so you kind of have like a little parachute so you can jump and glide down. Oh my god, Cody's dying. Poor Cody. He's got all choked up about this. So then in the reverse of the glide, there's a part, one of the areas you activate the wind element in the forest, and then there'll just be these gusts of air going up. So you just activate your glide and it lifts you up instead of going down. And so it's like a whole new way to navigate through a section by just going up, and then like you can let go of it to fall down, and like there'll be things like shooting at you, so you have to dodge while you're going up through the air. It's really cool. There are so many sections where you're having to navigate through things outside of touching the ground, and just the way that it shows you to do that is really cool. there's another section of the forest where you get this light orb, and it does this thing where like there's like kind of lava on the ground, and so when you've got your light activated, you can walk on the lava, but also it just completely messes with gravity. So it's rounded edges, so you can just go walk up a wall and then walk up and start walking on the ceiling. And this was the part where I had the worst time. I was like, I spent forever on this because like I just couldn't get my movement up to handling upside down and going sideways and dealing with that gravity. But even when I was like angry about that because I couldn't get through, I was like, this is still like a really neat way to handle the movement and a neat way to do platforming. And I really appreciated it. So, I don't know. I feel like you're supposed to like collect extra health orbs and then extra energy orbs, which you can use your energy orbs to create save points. And I didn't do a good job of that. I finished the game and I'd only found 3 out of 12 extra health orbs. So obviously, if you were like a good explorer, you could have gone and gotten like a lot more health. Same with the energy orbs. I never got enough. So my second biggest problem was that I would just run into areas where I would be in a tough situation where I didn't have enough energy orbs to do a save point. And like, so I'd be at a pretty far back thing with my last save point, and I'd have to like, I'm sorry, because you use your energy orbs to make save points. And it's a really neat concept if you have enough energy to like place them where you want to. But yeah, I never had enough health or save points. And so I would get stuck having to get through a tough section and like not being at top health to get through it, or being like really far back my last save point. So I just had to keep repeating long passages where I like pretty much couldn't take a hit or I'd die. But that was on me for not having enough stuff stored up. But yeah, it's just, I loved it so much. The final level is like you're in this like lava mountain, and like it was just like kind of a joy to play this game. Like there are little puzzles that you have to figure out, but the majority of stuff like I figured out for myself. Normally I have to like Google walkthroughs and stuff because I'll get stumped, and I only had to Google like 2 things on this. I think one was a map question because the place I was supposed to go was down and to the left, but it was kind of hidden, so I didn't really see it because like right where I got there, I clicked a thing and it opened this gateway on the right, so I thought I was supposed to go to the right, but that was fine. And then also like it allowed me to unlock an air dash before I actually had a dash ability. So like I'd unlocked my air dash and I'm like, how do I use this? So I had to Google it, and they're like, no, it lets you get it before you can use it. So that was stupid. But it's just like I felt like I was doing a good job while I was playing it, just because I'm like, yeah, I can get through this. Pretty much like any, not even the toughest passage, just like a regular passage. Like I'm gonna die like 20 times trying to get through it, but like as long as I had a good save point with me, I was like, it's fine. And it's just one of those things where you have to die quite a few times to just figure out how to get through it because of all the different mechanics that happen. But it's just like so inventive with the gameplay, and I think it's pretty spectacular what they did with it. I did have a really angry moment because I was right at the very end of the game, right when the ending, there's this big long chase sequence with not a lot of checkpoints, and so you have to like go through really well to get through it, and then you get to like the final cutscene of the game. It's that real emotional part where I was like, oh God, what's happening to Ori? And right then my fucking screen went black, and then it like reset to the Xbox home screen. And I was like, what just happened? And so I loaded back in, and it was like, the save was like right before that last big chase thing. So I had to do it all over again. But by that point, I'd done it so much that I was pretty like, I was getting good at it. So it didn't take as long. But yeah, I was so mad about that. I recommend this game so much to anyone, like not even necessarily that likes that type of game, even if you don't think you would like that type of game, I'd say give it a go, just to see how neat it is and to experience this wonderful story. I was like, this is like game of the year quality game. And like I went back and looked at, so it came out in 2015. I'm like, let's see what the awards look like in 2015. I'm a little upset because this did not win Game of the Year in 2015. That went to this weird little game called Witcher 3 that I guess people like. Bunch
of nerds.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Ori was robbed because it should have been Game of the Year. If it wasn't going to be Game of the Year, it should have been at least Independent Game of the Year. But that went to Rocket League. So
nerds.
I know, these people, like this voting pool from 2015 just like really dropped the ball here for Ori. I believe it won a couple like visual design and stuff, but it's fantastic. Also, it has an amazing soundtrack. It was such nice music. It reminds me a lot of Kingdoms of Amalur. But yeah, man,
So you played it on Game Pass, correct?
Oh, right. Yeah, it's free on Game Pass, which that was the thing. Like I never wanted to buy this game because I'm like, I'm probably not going to like it and probably not going to play very much. And then free on Game Pass, turns out I love it. Like every day at work, I was like, I can't wait to get home and go play more of Ori. And like, I was just like, yeah, this is crazy. I can finish this game. So later this year, Ori and the Will of the Wisps is coming out, and I'm really excited for that. It'll be on Game Pass as well. I hope to have a happy resolution to my lingering concerns from how the story wrapped up, and it'll be interesting just to see like what that story is really about, since the forest should be okay now. So I don't know. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Cody, I think you should play this game. I think you would definitely like it because I think you like that type of game more than I would normally, and you'll love the story too. And it's just like, oh, it's so good. So but yeah,
okay, I'll look into it.
Yeah, cool.
All right.
Alrighty, so we've got one more freebie game to talk about. I mentioned it earlier and then totally blew the segue. So Cody, tell us about,
like right there, and you were just like,
no, let's not do that. Tell us about Portal Knights.
Yeah, so one of the PS Plus games for the month of January is Portal Knights. It is, the best way I can describe it, it's like what if Minecraft met an RPG. And what I mean by that is like it takes the crafting and building mechanics of Minecraft and meets an RPG in this way of you have to pick from a class, so you can pick between like a warrior, an archer, and a mage, I want to say is what they, or a wizard. And you're going through this world, and I think you're supposed to be stopping some great magical evil thing. And you're building portals.
The bad thing about this game is it starts and there's like text going across the screen and it's super slow as it's going. So I was like, oh, maybe I can hit X to make it just reveal itself. No, it just skips to the next page. Skips. So I missed too much text.
So yeah. And so like it's a fun game to pass some time with. I played it about 5-ish hours.
Wow.
Sorry. I grouped up with my friend Luke and I'm really blowing my other friend's name. I don't even know.
Feel bad for that friend. Jeez.
Oh god, why did I not remember it? We'll call him Jerry. Luke and Jerry I played with, and it was fun. I didn't really get to do any of the building of like, because like you can just like Minecraft kind of mine anything you want and stuff like that. You craft like clothing, you craft weapons, you can craft different like little potions and stuff, and you're just going through this world, and you're going like kind of like almost like world by world, building portals to each different world. And like when you get to a new world, there's new quests to do. They usually require you to craft something or go get something from a dungeon in the area. And there's a lot of different kind of enemy types I found. There were some skeletons. There were like these like electrical flying bats. There were these like sandworms that would shoot acid at me. Those are just kind of, there's like these weird glowing orbs of light that would attack me. I don't know. I didn't really get what those were.
There's that fucking turtle guy that like will go down in his shell and spin and come at you.
Oh yeah, that too.
I hated that guy.
Yeah. And so I think the kind of loop is interesting if that's the kind of game you're looking to play. I was into Minecraft for about 5 minutes back in the day. Like, I played with some buddies, and like we had our own little server, and that was kind of fun because we just got on Skype every night and played Minecraft together. But this is more like you have to follow a set path, and in Minecraft you kind of can do whatever you want. Like, you can choose to build houses, or you can go find different dungeons to go into. And this one is kind of like, nope, follow this quest line, and eventually you'll get to a part where you can kind of do your own stuff. And I wasn't feeling that at the time. Also, the like you can only have 3 people in your party thing is kind of weird. 3's just an odd number. I mean, it was 3 in Destiny as well. I don't know.
This is what I was just thinking. I mean, it's like, what?
I guess for like a shooter, it's fine. But like for this like RPG mechanic, I don't know. I just would like as many people as I want. Because like we had like 5 people in the party. And so like we could only have like a team of 2 and a team of 3. So that kind of sucked.
Quick question. Do you remember the name of the other 2 friends that were not playing with you but were in the party?
Alright, you're asking way too much of me right now. One was Justin. I can tell you that much. It was Justin, and I didn't really talk to the other guy. I really don't know his name. We'll call him
Trevor.
We'll call him Trevor. That's what I was going to go with.
Okay.
Great minds think alike. Jerry's real name is Charlie. I just remembered that. So Luke and Charlie and I played together for a hot minute.
Do you want to give an official apology to Charlie for forgetting his name?
Yo, Charlie, if you ever listen to this, I'm really sorry. It's been a rough couple weeks for me, okay? Don't make fun of me.
It happens.
I don't know. Yeah, like it's a free game, so definitely get it if you can. Add it to your library, as Sam always lectures everyone about. Sam, what did you think of Portal Knights? I wasn't very sold on it.
I've never played Minecraft, and I've never had a desire to play Minecraft. So I wasn't super into this game, FYI. Yeah. However, I did like the character creator. I thought they had some really fun hairstyles and different things where you could customize your character. And then I also like that you can have a little pet companion in this game. So you start off with this little white poodle, and he just kind of follows you around and like kind of barks sometimes. What's that face?
I had a pet rat. What the fuck?
Did you?
Where'd you get a poodle from?
When I first spawned on my island and I went to see the guy at the house with the work table, like there was just a poodle somewhere that I picked up. It's just like, here, I have this poodle. Like as soon as I started the game. Like, did you get him as soon as you started?
Nope.
Did you have to go in that dungeon?
A couple hours and then he like showed up. No.
I played for like 20 minutes and I got the poodle, and then I got the rat as well because I found a rat down in a dungeon. I broke this cage and I was like, oh, here's the rat.
I don't remember how I got the rat, but I know I got a rat. I didn't get no poodle. Yeah, lucky. What? I kept playing it. I had a poodle behind me all the time.
Yeah, that's weird. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty intuitive to like figure out what you're supposed to be doing and how to do different stuff in the crafting. Because you know me, I get cranky if it's too difficult to figure stuff out. So that was fine. The combat was just kind of boring. Because I mean, it seems like the starting enemies in air quotes, because they were like a parrot and some green slime, but they were like really tough to kill. I'd have to like hold down my trigger and attack them for like 10 seconds to kill them. Well, because you have to like dodge as well because they'll attack you. And it just seemed like your first enemy should be easier than that. But I don't know. I get bored pretty easily.
I also kind of felt like the whole like making you pick a class. I was like, oh, like maybe I'll get to like use like wizard, because I picked a wizard. It's like, oh, maybe I'll get to use like wizard spells, like a fireball or something.
Yeah.
And like No, and like your starting weapon is determined by your class. Like you get the wand if you're a wizard, a sword if you're a warrior, or a bow and arrow if you're the archer. But then you can just go make those and use them if you wanted to. So I was like, what was the point of me picking this class? Like, do I get to get abilities later on?
You played for 5 hours and you never got any spells?
I got an ability, but I didn't know if it was different from... Because it's like, eventually you get a quest that like is teaching you how to interrupt enemy attacks. And I got like a shout ability as a wizard. And I was like, oh, is this similar to yours, Luke? And he's like, yeah, it's pretty similar. I think it's the exact same, actually. So I was like, okay. So...
That's very disappointing because you played for 5 hours and didn't get any spells. I would have been so pissed. Because, like, I was like, this wand sucks. Like, maybe if I got some spells, it would be cooler. But, like, if you have to play that long and don't get anything, that hardly seems worth it.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I was like, this feels like Stardew Valley, but with, like, more fighting.
You know, like a 3D Stardew Valley really makes a lot of fucking sense. Now that you say that.
Yes, or kind of like a Don't Starve type
Man,
game.
we're really not selling people on getting this game. Steep is great, guys.
Oh my god, Steep
it's a lot
is so
of fun.
good. Cody, you didn't talk about Steep. Like, just say a few kind words about what you thought about Steep.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I don't know. It seems like a nice like game you can just kind of relax in and just do kind of cool snowboard tricks. Like I've never been snowboarding or skiing in my life because I live in the swamp and it sucks. It's hot. I'm sweating all the time. I would love to be in the snow and snowboarding. I'd probably be more of a skier if I'm being honest with you. I think the little sticks are pretty cool. You know what I'm saying?
That's what she said.
Yeah. I was setting you up. Yeah, Steve's a lot of cool stuff. Like this, like the snowboarding feels really good. We did some races. We did a kind of community night kind of thing. It was just actually just stream.
Yeah. It was a mini community night. We had Megs and Starry Night with us.
And then we eventually figured out how to do the rocket wingsuits, and that was a blast, literally. Because like you're just jetting on through stuff and you're like, oh, I'm doing great, guys, and then whack right into a tree, and it's like, oh, that's it.
Pretty much every race we did with the rocket suit, I would say really usually only one person actually finished, everybody else crashed and was disqualified. So yeah, Steep is the other free game for PS Plus this month, and I like that one a lot. It's a really cool game. Definitely get that one, because I'm sure we'll play that more in the future, and it's just fun. So I mean, go ahead and get Portal Knights, because like maybe you'll have like a niece or nephew over at some point, and you'll want like just a nice little game for them to play, and maybe they could play that and they'd like it. You never know when that's gonna happen. So always have your games just in case. Might as well get Amplitude just in case. You never know. So.
Really, we're really selling that PS Plus membership. It's a good thing we're not sponsored by Sony.
All right. Man, I feel like we're running real long, but it's fine. We're just going to get through it. Cody, no, but I mean, judging by how much we still have to talk about, I feel we're running long.
Let's go quickly.
What?
We'll just go really quickly.
Oh, no, yeah. That's never mind. I have too many That's What She Said jokes tonight. So we're starting a new segment, okay? It's called the Anthem Arrival Oh, I can't say it. Too many A's. Fuck, I fucked it up. Anthem Arrival Shit. You say it. Can you say it?
The Anthem Arrival Advisory.
Yeah. There you go. That was just like, I don't know, too many A's.
We can just call it the AAA.
The AAA. All right, guys. Not really a surprise here. We're super excited for Anthem, okay? This podcast comes out on the 21st of January. Approximately 1 month later, February 22nd, Anthem is released. So we just want to kind of do like a quick little countdown every week, have a little check-in, see how we're feeling about things. Next week, we should be talking about that VIP demo that will be out. So, all right, Cody, this week has been just a mess for me because I told you that multiple times earlier this week I was convinced that the Anthem demo was this weekend. Like so convinced. Like, I went and pre-ordered Anthem because I'm like, oh, I have to get ready for this weekend. And then I was like, oh, it's not this weekend. And then, like, the next day at work, I was like, oh, I need to text Cody and remind him that the Anthem demo is this weekend. And then I'm like, no, it's not this weekend. It's the next weekend. Wow. And it's just like, I just have this weird mindset. Like, I just couldn't figure it out. So when I was getting ready to pre-order my Anthem, I was like, okay, so am I getting just regular Anthem or am I getting this Legion of Dawn edition of Anthem that was like $20 more? And I'm like, well, what do I get with this edition? And so you get some fancy Javelin skins that I guess you won't be able to get anywhere else. These are like the original Javelin suits from, I don't know what the group of... I want to call them guardians, whatever your Javelin people are. Freelancers, yes. So like the original Freelancers, this is like the old school design, which is pretty cool, but I'm like, yeah, you know, whatever. You get some like weapon stuff that hasn't been clearly defined yet. I'm like, you know, that's fine. And then it says, oh, you also get the digital soundtrack. And I was like, man, I don't remember what the soundtrack sounds like for this. So I'm like, let me... Dude, yes. So I went to YouTube to watch it, and like as soon as it started, I was like, oh my god, yes. This is like, I want this digital soundtrack. This sounds amazing. I'm super excited for it. Like, I don't know what this instrument is called, but I feel like, I don't know if it's the didgeridoo, but it's like so that Australian, like really deep sounding, like you blow the thing. Yeah, it's got that in it.
Yeah, that's what she said. You blow the thing.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And it sounds amazing. It got me so excited, Cody. So I was like, well, I guess I'm going to buy this Legion of Dawn edition. And the fun thing is, like, I realized my uncle had given me a $20 Amazon gift card. So I was like, oh, I hadn't spent that yet. I'm like, I'm just going to use that for my extra money. So it's not even like I'm paying for it. But because I listened to that soundtrack, I got super excited for Anthem. And like during that span of days there, like on a scale of 1 to 10 for excitement, my excitement was like a 9.5 for Anthem to come out. And like I was just like, man, I can't wait for it. I've kind of calmed down a little bit now. I'm like, I'm okay. Like I think I'm like at about a 7 right now. It's raining really loudly now and thundering, so I apologize if you can hear that. But yeah, I'm really excited. Cody, like, what's your excitement? What are you feeling this week about Anthem?
So, a couple things. Obviously, I'm at a 10 out of 10. They had another live stream this week where they kind of talked about, like, other stuff happening, like, besides the main story. And then, like, they showed off some hard difficulty, because, you know, you can set the different levels. And, like, really excited me. Like, I'm not gonna spoil anything because there are people who just want to go in blind. Yeah. Pretty much like their side quests are called contracts, is what they're called. That's what they're kind of called. And they're like, oh, like there are different factions in Fort Tarsus, which is the main hub area, and like different people in the factions will give you these legendary contracts, and they're these story missions where you go out and you do stuff. And I was like, fuck it, that's really cool. And like they're like, oh, they're replayable, as in like, you get different stuff each time. Like, it's not going to be all the same contract each time. And you always get a very good reward out of it. And I was like, fuck yeah, that's really cool. Yeah. And then, like, even before that stream happened, I had a dream about Anthem. And, like, video game dreams are the fucking best. So they haven't, like, outlined, like, what the raids will be like in this game. But, like, they're going to be 4 people, obviously. Everything's going to be 4 people. So I had a dream that it was me and the... what is the basic javelin?
The Ranger?
Me and the Ranger. Yeah. Byron. Our friend Byron, Groon, in the Colossus. You're in the Storm. My brother was in another Ranger. And we did the raid together. And we were kicking at, like, we were comboing stuff left and right. We're shooting rockets. You're dropping, like, meteorites from the sky. Like, so much cool stuff. And I woke up and I was like, oh man, I gotta wait a month. Like, fuck.
I feel like that's a prophetic dream. I feel like that's gonna come to pass, and we're like, gonna kick ass. It's gonna be fantastic.
I'm so excited for this game. Like, and I get like there's a bunch of people who are like, oh, don't get too excited because what if it's bad? There's just nothing. Like, there's nothing like, unless they like just shit on everything, they're like, you know what, we started from like, we decided to restart the entire game over the day before we launched. Like, there's no way. Everything I've seen from the game excites me. I can't wait to play it next week, and then like the following weekend we get to play it, and like,
oh yeah,
like, it's gonna be so good.
So the demo is coming. The VIP demo is for people who've pre-ordered or have EA Origin Access accounts. So that'll be like the 25th through, I don't know, that weekend. And
27th.
Okay, I guess that's easy math. Never mind.
Yeah.
So then the next weekend, it's the open demo, so everyone can try it out. One thing, I've read an article today that said if you are in the VIP demo, you will have the ability to invite 3 friends who are not in the VIP demo, and they'll get to come in with you. I'm not exactly sure how this worked. The article like had a link, and I was like, I don't know. So I'm not entirely sure about this. I'm going to look into it. But I think that'll be pretty cool if they let you do that.
I read something about this, and I want to say it's for the EA Origin people, but maybe we'll get it from PS4 as well.
That's possible.
Because the EA thing is also on Xbox. Like, PS4 is the only one who doesn't have the EA Origin thing on their console. So,
well,
maybe.
If we have it, I'll be inviting some friends.
We'll be giving some codes out.
FYI.
Yeah.
So, if I don't, that sucks, but we'll catch you next weekend. So, I mean, it is like, we should temper this because, I mean, it's going to be a demo, so it's going to be limited what we can play. It's not going to be free reign out there. But still, we're just excited to get to play it.
I think it's like first mission, there's something else, and then like it's free play, and you do have the ability to unlock any of the 4 javelins.
Ooh.
So
that's
because
exciting.
you start with the ranger, and I want to say like I think it's like you're allowed to go up to a certain level, and it would allow you to get a second javelin.
Okay.
So like if you just restart the demo, you pick a different javelin each time, stuff like that. So that'd be kind of cool. I'm excited.
We're excited. We're super excited, man. So
yeah.
All right.
This has been AAA.
Oh.
I get it? Like, well, no, that's only
that's
2
like
A's.
an M, but like weird. I don't know why you're so into like making letters with your fingers these days.
I don't know either, because like we're an audio podcast mainly, and like, what am I doing? We got a video, but like,
It's fine.
All right.
Good point. All right. Since we're moving quickly, let's just jump right into our news. We've got a lot of news going on this week. Number 1, quick story. Just a PSA, really. Blackout from Black Ops 4 is free right now. It's going on free until the 24th. So you've got a little bit of time still. If you've been interested in checking this out, go ahead and pop over in there and play some. It's fun. It's not my favorite part of Black Ops, but it's fun. And people like Battle Royale, and you want to try it, so do it. One quick thing. I was in the Optional Podcasts Discord, and Paul, we were talking about this, and he was like, oh, I wonder if this is like some sort of test for them before going free to play. And I'm like, oh, that's a very interesting idea. So do you have any thoughts? Do you think that...
I was thinking they're gonna sell the Battle Royale separately. I don't think they would give it for free. I was thinking they would do like $30. Here's the Battle Royale mode only, which
they
honestly would probably buy.
Already, at least on PC, they have a $40 Black Ops that just doesn't include zombies. So you get multiplayer and you get Blackout right now. It's an option.
Interesting.
I don't know if they would split it up even further. But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. Maybe they're just trying to get more people to buy the game. So in any case, a free weekend or actually this is a full week free, is really cool. So hopefully you guys will check that out. All right. Number 2 on our news list. So
should we can save this for next week.
Do you want to save it?
This is a pretty big thing, and there may be some updates as we go, so we can save it.
Well, we'll skip that. We'll come back to it. Do you want to talk about number 3?
Yeah. So Rocket League has an. Why did I get this one?
That was not my number 3. I thought number 3 was the GameStop story. Did we miss?
Oh, sorry.
Do you want to talk about that?
So apparently, sorry, I had my numbers weird. I was like, I don't even care about this. GameStop is in the process of being bought out by a company. So what this kind of means is that it's looking like some GameStops will be closing. I think it's just kind of... The issue is digital has become a very it's become a higher demand. So like there's not as many people trading in games, there's not many people buying physical games because they can just buy everything digitally. And so this has kind of hit GameStop pretty hard. It's something that they've been kind of trying to combat for a while. And I think it's finally just caught up to them. And so they are in the process of being bought out by another company. I can't remember. There's 3 companies vying for them right now. And so I think the kind of hope is that GameStop will stay around. It's just there's going to be a lot less stores. Because there are some places where like there's a ridiculous amount of GameStops. Like in like Lafayette, Louisiana, there's like 5 on one street. Like honestly, like they're 20 minutes apart from each other. It's like, why is there so many of you guys? Like what? But like I do hope GameStop sticks around because like there are still people who buy physical media. Like it's always going to be a thing. And like I've made some great friends through GameStop. I worked for GameStop for a brief period. And I have like my GameStop store that I go to, and like I interact with the manager, I interact with all the people there because like it's just a fun place to go and talk video games with people. And so like I do hope that GameStop can recover from this. I think we may see a more transition from because they're also it's ThinkGeek and GameStop are kind of like co-owned. I think we may see like a ThinkGeek stores popping up a little bit more maybe because like that kind of pop culture-y like almost like a Hot Topic store is a little bit more popular maybe than a physical games media place. So
well, and I think it'd be cool if they like just kind of combined, so you have your ThinkGeeks, you've got pop culture stuff, and then you also have video games in the same store and just like put it all there together. I think that could be good.
Yeah.
And I mean, I feel like there's always still going to be kind of a market for the physical games just for the secondhand use. You know, a lot of people don't buy games right away. They like to wait and buy a used game, so it'll be cheaper after some time has passed. So like there's still a market for that, and there's still people who want to buy physical games just to be able to trade them in. So it sucks. I feel bad for them. I feel bad too because like I know I'm part of the problem. There's a GameStop that's on my way home from work, but like I hate the shopping center that it's in and like how you have to like navigate to get into it just because like there's a Starbucks right there in the drive-through and like there's not enough room for like more than one-way traffic, and it's just like it stresses me out really bad every time I have to go there. So it's unfortunate.
Yeah, like my GameStop I go to is actually like a little bit further of a drive than the one that's like actually in my hometown. But like I just like the people there a little bit more, to be honest with you. But like yeah, like GameStop for me is like sometimes I'll go there to pre-order a game, but most of the time I'm going there to buy Funko Pops because you can pre-order Funko Pops from there, and like it's useful for me as a collector. So yeah, you know, we I hope for the best that so there will at least be some GameStop sticking around. Maybe they just have to shut down a couple. I hope not too many people are impacted by that because we never want anybody to lose their jobs. That really sucks. But yeah,
I also feel like GameSpot should just come in and buy them and just like be like, hey, you know, this has been a problem long enough. Let's just get to it. We're all the same. We're all together. And yeah, it'd be great. That's an option. You guys think about that. Okay. All right. Number 4 on our news is that Rocket League now has crossplay across all platforms. Obviously, Cody does not care about this, as he just said. I mean, I don't really care about Rocket League either. That's not why I think this story is exciting.
Oh no, like I like Rocket League. I just don't like. I feel like
about crossplay.
The crossplay has been blown out of fucking proportion, and I don't care at all. Like it's nice. I'm glad it's out there for people. It's just like the number of people who are actually going to play crossplay is so minuscule that like, why are we making such a big deal about it? I don't understand. That's my hot take on crossplay.
I feel like there's not a lot of people interested in it right now. I feel if it becomes more of a thing that's just available for all different types of games, I think people would use it more. I mean, if you think about us, and like we play the majority of our games on our PS4s, and we have PS4 community game nights because like that's just what we do. That's what people have. So like people who don't have a PS4 have been missing out on stuff. So like if we played games where they were able to play with us from their Xbox or something, that'd be really cool. So I mean, I think it's a good thing. I think it's an exciting move for the future that more stuff is getting crossplay. I had 2 questions about this for you, which we'll see if you have an interest in this. Okay, so one question is, what do you think the next game is going to be that has crossplay? And then, well, you can answer that first, I guess, and then I'll ask my second one.
So currently the only like big 2 are Fortnite and Rocket League.
Yeah.
I could cheat a little bit because I do know a game that's going to have it, and it's Smite. It's coming out on Switch.
Oh.
And it's going to have it.
Okay. Well, that's good to know.
But I won't cheat. So let's see. What's the game that's on every...
Oh, see, because like...
That's tough.
Well, I know Minecraft has some crossplay, but I don't know if it has full crossplay, and it feels like that's just one that should have it.
Yeah, I could see that one being the next big one, to be honest with you.
And I was thinking what could really be a big news good thing for the game would be if PUBG ended up getting crossplay. Because like I feel like it's not doing as well as it once was. It's not the golden boy anymore. And it like kind of needs something to boost it up. So I think like if it got some crossplay, maybe that would bring more people to it and give it that little kick. I don't know.
Yeah. And I know like Overwatch has mentioned possibly adding it, like they would be interested in it, so yeah. Who knows? All
right, we'll just have to
Diablo is another one.
Oh,
I can see because Diablo's on like everything, so why not Diablo?
That would make sense.
So yeah. That would make sense, yeah.
Okay.
Well,
question number 2. Do you feel that eventually crossplay is going to be, everyone can crossplay. However, like you have to pay for a PS Plus to play online with people, do you think someone's going to start adding an extra fee to do crossplay? Someone probably being Sony.
I think they'll face a lot of backlash if they do that. So, I don't know.
I mean, I think they probably faced a lot of backlash when they said, oh, you have to pay now to play online with people. It's like PS3, you didn't have to do that. PS4, you started. So it's like...
Yeah, but like, you're already paying $60 a year.
I know.
For PS Plus. Like, what are you suggesting, like, well, if you pay $65, we'll let you play with the Microsoft and Nintendo people. Like, I don't think that would not fly. Someone would fucking go crazy about that.
Okay.
I don't think that anyone will ever charge extra for it. I could see maybe, and this could be for all of them, like how like there are loot boxes and microtransactions for like custom like cars in like Rocket League. I could see maybe Sony, Microsoft, or Nintendo wanting a bigger cut of that because now that's gonna be something used on other consoles as well. So maybe.
Well, I mean, we're not talking about cross account, right? We're not saying you can play on PlayStation and buy stuff and then also go play on Switch. We're saying a person on PlayStation can play with somebody on Switch. Okay. So I don't think they're taking stuff like that.
I don't think ethically any of those companies would want to do that because I feel like they would face a major backlash. So I don't think Sony's a little scummy about some shit. I don't think
guarantee somewhere in a boardroom they've discussed it and they're like, how bad would it be if we tried this? Could we still make some money? Somebody's discussed it because everybody.
I'm sure it's been discussed and someone's like, no, like
don't do that.
This would be almost as bad as Microsoft being like, no more used games on our consoles. You have to buy everything new, and how bad that went.
Wait, what?
So yeah. Do you not remember when the Xbox One was coming out and like the original thing was like you wouldn't be able to play used games on the Xbox One. Like it had to be a brand new disc and like so there'd be no game trading. I don't remember how they were gonna do it. But like that was that when they first came out, like the Xbox One was sold as like a TV replacement, and like the big joke was like Sony came out on stage and was like, this is how you share games with your friends. And like one dude handed the other dude a disc. So like I feel like that like if you try to charge for crossplay, that's equivalent. Like no one it would end terribly. I hope Sony never does that.
I hope not. Okay. All right. Good to know. All right. do you want to talk about the next one? Do you want me to?
Oh yeah, we can do it. So Division 2 has announced that they will be dropping Steam and going to the Epic Game Store. And this is pretty big because this is like the first like major game.
I'd say this is epic news.
I just want to like punch you in the face sometime soon. Out of love. This is epic news that someone chose Epic Game Store over Steam, and a very big one. Division 2 is looking to be like a very big game, and like it's kind of interesting to see like what other companies will be following suit, because like,
well, and what's interesting is like, so Division 2 is going, so Ubisoft, like, is this like a test, or like are all of their future games probably going to go this route? It's like interesting to see. Well, and also like it's, you know, this is the kind of deal that they worked out long ago, probably before the Epic Game Store was even announced, because I feel like you need to have your partnerships, you need to have somebody big on board with you before you go down this route. So I think it's cool. I wonder if there are other big dogs waiting in the wings that have already planned to come to Epic Games and it just hasn't been announced yet. So I don't know.
Well, yeah, I wonder like what other big companies could really do it. Because like Activision has the Battle.net launcher. It seems like they're doing for their big tentpole games. Well, I mean, what are some other big like
Capcom?
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, Capcom. If Capcom can make a jump over there.
This is difficult for us because we don't play any of our big games on Steam, so we don't know what's on Steam and what's on something else.
I mean, Bungie now, technically, after Destiny 2 is done, like, I don't know if they'll continue using the Battle.net launcher after Destiny 2 is finished. So, like, Destiny 3 could later be on the Epic Game Store.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's exciting because, like, it's nice for companies to have, like, a different place to go put their game and get more money out of it. I do wonder, like, if there is a Assassin's Creed game this year, which it seems like there will be, it's probably going to go up on the Epic Game Store, and so that's really good for them.
You know what's interesting? Like, Trials Rising is coming out February 15th, and I don't know.
There's
if they've said where it's going, which, I mean,
Sorry.
I think it's a big deal, but people probably don't care to make a big deal about that game.
Well, no, I'm sure there's like something underlying here that's saying like all Ubisoft games will go on Epic Game Store from now on. It's just smart, like you're going to get more cut out of it.
Yeah. Well, and it's exactly what they needed. They needed something big to let people know, hey, here's this new store that exists. And, you know, because a lot of people, it might just fly under their radar. So, yeah.
EA could put some games out on there. Like Anthem could release on PC in the Epic Game Store. Or does EA have their own launcher?
I don't know the answer to this question. I feel like they probably have their own launcher. I feel like they probably have their own.
Cause I know Bethesda used their own launcher for Fallout 76.
I feel like the EA Origins or the Access, like I feel like it's probably through the same thing. I feel like they probably have their own thing.
Good point.
Because like you can test run like games on that service, so I feel like it's all in their own little thing already. So
smart. Okay. Yeah.
So
yeah, mainly Capcom could start putting stuff out on there. Like
yeah. We're bad at knowing
because like Microsoft bought up a bunch of companies that release games into like it's hard to imagine like where those games are going to go. So
yeah,
it's a big win for Ubisoft and Epic Games.
It's great.
Good job, guys.
Good job, you guys. It's a partnership we love to see. I don't know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on to our final story for the day. So there have been rumors that some Super Nintendo games might be coming to Switch on the Switch Online service, which there's like just a mess of original Nintendo games up there currently that you can play. So people have been getting pretty excited about this because, you know, I never had a Super Nintendo, but people loved their Super Nintendos. And there aren't always a lot of ways to play some of these games that are pretty old. Oh my god, that thunder was really loud. I don't know if anyone else heard that. It startled me. Okay. So anyway, so we have some games that we're excited that are hoping would come to the Switch so that we could play them, and then we checked in with our Discord crew to see what games they are excited about. So, Cody, do you want to tell me first what you would like to see come to Switch?
Well, first I'm going to say that I think this is kind of cool because hopefully this leads to other console like Nintendo 64, GameCube, stuff like that coming to the Switch. Because like there's a lot of games that like I just missed out on that I never got to play, like Super Mario Sunshine. Never played it. Love to play it, so hopefully that eventually comes. A pipe dream for Cody here, but I would love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Turtles in Time to come out on this because that's one of my top 25 games of all time. I remember playing it so much with my brothers, like such a good game, and I would love for it to come to the kind of like. It's not the Virtual Console, but it's pretty much the Virtual Console for Switch.
Yeah.
I will say, hopefully, they improve the controls because the controls are weird for the old NES games on the Switch. I don't know if you did you play any of the NES games on the Switch?
I don't remember it being weird.
It may have been because I was playing a 2-player game, and so we had to take the Joy-Cons and turn them sideways, and like. The buttons design was just very weird.
Because then you have to use the joystick as your D-pad?
Yes. And like
that's awkward.
The top 2 buttons are like weird. Like they're supposed to be starting options or something like that.
Yeah.
It's just weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I got. Teenage Mutant Turtles, Turtles in Time. One of my favorite games. So
I've never played that game, but I would love to try it just because you recommend it so highly.
It's probably never going to come because...
You don't know that.
I mean, there's probably like some copyright stuff. Like,
I don't know. I think it could.
I would love it.
It'd be fine.
Yeah, go for it.
So, like, okay. So I've got 2, but one is like the same that a lot of people said. So I'll just say, I would like to play Yoshi's Island, because I love Yoshi, and I've never played a Yoshi game before. So I think that would be really cool. Like, and just like a Yoshi title? You made a face.
I was thinking you played Woolly World, but I didn't realize you didn't have a Wii U, so never mind.
Never played that one. So,
yeah.
So yeah, I think that'd be cool. My cheat one that like everybody's saying is the Super Mario World.
Yeah.
Now, because this is like it follows in like Super Mario 3's footsteps, and it's like the new Super Mario Brothers, like that kind of style. I played it a few times at a friend's house. Now, this is funny because you couldn't remember your friend's name earlier. I was thinking about this. I'm like, who did I play this at? Because, I mean, it was when I was in elementary school, so I was really young. And I can, like, picture her bedroom and, like, playing Super Mario World there. But I'm like, I don't remember which friend this was at all. Like, I can't even picture who it was. And I feel really bad about that. But yeah, that's one that I'd really like to try again, because I played very little of it. So, getting into our Discord crew and what they would like to see. Let's start with a Byron. Now, I've said in the past that this man has very good taste, okay? So what does he want to see? He wants to see Super Mario World. Yeah. And then he also said Chrono Trigger, which I think this would be good too, because like I've heard so many things about Chrono Trigger, and I think it would be fun to try it, but I feel like it's one of those where I'll play like 20 minutes and then stop. So
yeah, I've also always wanted to try Chrono Trigger. Like you always hear about it, and like I'm pretty sure it was in an arcade and like a laser tag place I used to go to. Maybe I'm thinking of a different. I feel like I'm thinking of Chrono Trigger. I don't know. Our friend Megs, in a similar vein, said she would also like to see Super Mario World.
Our friends have really good tastes, so I don't know. Really it's so weird. Alejandro, just because he always likes to mix it up here, he says he would like to see Super Castlevania and Super Metroid. Cody, do you want to fill him in on the conversation that happened after that?
I was like, hold the phone. Is this game really called Super Castlevania? And Byron was like, yeah, it's the 4th Castlevania game. And I was like, they could... So we went from Castlevania, Symphony of the Night, Castlevania, Rondo in Blood, to Super Castlevania. What? I was like, what is happening? Like, what was... And then I read Super Metroid, and I was like, they really just slapped Super on everything. They were like, Super Nintendo Entertainment System, Super everything. Super Mario, Super Metroid, Super Castlevania, Super Luigi, Super everything. Like, it's just weird. Like, what was that naming convention, Nintendo?
It's real weird. So.
And then some guy named Chad Teatrick, I don't know who that is.
I don't know.
Went for a real deep cut and said Demon's Crest. Now, knowing my brother, this is like some RPG game that's super like real deep cut, like probably only like 7 people played it, and I'm gonna have to do some research, and I'm gonna get back to you guys next week with a rundown on what Demon's Crest is.
Hold on. Let's play one of my favorite games. Is just you tell me what Demon's Crest is. Like right now, you tell me what it is.
I believe it's probably a side-scrolling RPG game in the vein of like probably got some turn-based combat, and you are a guy named, let's go with
Franklin?
Yeah, let's go with like Franklin, or like something like crazy, like a cool name like Cloud or something.
Ooh. That seems too light. I feel like it should be like a darker name, like Shadow.
Okay. Yeah, like you're playing a character named Shadow, and you're going through this like demon-filled world, destroying demons, and you are in fact a demon, and you carry the Demon's Crest on your chest, and you can use it to activate a superpower in your turn-based combat.
Do you turn into a super demon because you were on Super NES?
Oh, good point. Super demon. Do you think there was ever a Super Demon's Crest?
I don't know.
And you're probably picking up like allies along the way, like other people who hate demons, like somebody who like their mom died to a demon, stuff like that.
But they can't know that you're secretly a demon.
Yeah, so it's like really awkward when you turn into you do the super ultra demon power, and they're kind of like, "What the fuck was that, man?" You're just like,
"You pay no attention. It's just this thing that happens. It's fine."
You passed out. I don't know what happened. Ah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it. That sounds good.
That's what I think.
That sounds like a real good game. So.
We'll see how close I was when I look it up later.
All right. Sounds good. Mm-hmm. Okay. I think we've covered everything we set out to cover today. I think we're good. Yeah.
Oh, for the record, we're going to talk about the news story we skipped was the EA canceling the Star Wars game. We're going to like let that see if anything new comes out from it. We'll talk about that next week.
Yeah.
So, I know people are probably like, well, what did they skip over? What was that?
And the secret news story. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Well, thank you everybody who's tuned in. Just a reminder, we love to hear from you, so drop us an email at contact@geekheartgames.com. You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter at geekheartgames. That's right, we have a Facebook page. There are people in our Discord who didn't know that. That's weird. I mean, we're not super active on Facebook because Facebook's weird. Like, it doesn't work well on my phone. But, hey, we're there. We post stuff. It is the same stuff that we post on Twitter, but that's fine. It's fine. Find us wherever you want. We're around. Places we're around, we're streaming over at twitch.tv/geekheartgames, and you can watch our videos at geekheartgames.com/YouTube. So go check out Cody playing the Resident Evil 2 demo and his heavy breathing as he's getting real into it. You can always buy a shirt over at geekheartgames.com/shirts, and we would love for you to drop us a review on iTunes or your podcast player of choice. I am on Twitter at SKSUVAK. Cody?
I am at comicbookcody.
Yeah. And one more time, just a reminder to, be nice to people out there, be compassionate, try to put as much love out into the world as you can. So, Cody, take it away.
We're just two geeks who heart games. Do 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 super doos.
It was good. I liked it. So I like your Anthem Arrival that we'll talk about, but what do you think about Anthem Arrival Advisory?
I like Anthem Advisory. I was trying to think of another like word that starts with A that like could be like us talking about Anthem, you know?
Yeah. Do you think it's too long? Because I like the Anthem Arrival Advisory. And I mean, it's like, because we're talking about it's coming. Like, it's coming. So.
Yeah. We're really excited for it to come.
Cody. Yes, we are,
So
actually.
Just really want that come all over us.
You just took it someplace too far. Jeez.
That's what I do lately.